Top 1. The June Garden. Crisis in the Retail Trap. You walk out to your kitchen garden in the middle of June and stop at the row of pepper plants. Something is clearly wrong. The leaves on 3 of the plants are yellowing from the bottom up. The new growth at the top is wilted and limp even though the soil is wet. You water them anyway because what else would you do? By the end of the week, those 3 plants are dead. They are pulled out of the soft soil with no resistance, their roots brown, slimy, and rotted through. You replant, but the same thing happens to 2 more plants. Then the cucumbers go. You walk into the garden center, and the man behind the counter sells you a $40 bottle of synthetic fungicide. You spray it, but the plants keep dying. He sells you a $30 bottle of root stimulator. You apply it, but the plants keep dying. He sells you a $20 bag of beneficial microbial powder. You stir it into the soil, but the plants keep dying. By the end of the season, you have spent $90 on garden center products that did not solve the problem, and a quarter of your kitchen garden is empty soil where peppers and cucumbers should have been. Now, I want you to sit with this. There is a $3 bottle of hydrogen peroxide on the shelf at any pharmacy in America. The same plain brown bottle that has been on the shelves for over 100 years handles root rot, fungal disease, poor germination, contaminated containers, and compacted soil better than any specialty products that the garden center will sell you. My grandmother used it. Esther's mother used it. Every careful gardener in this country before the chemical garden industry expanded in the 1970s and started selling families a separate product for every separate problem knew that one brown bottle did most of the work. My name is Elias Yoder. I am Amish and I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Esther and I keep 1 brown bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide in the garden shed, and that is the whole of it for chemical garden treatment. No specialty fungicides, no commercial root stimulators, no expensive microbial powders. 1 bottle, 5 uses, $3. It is the same chemistry that has been working in careful gardens for 150 years. Top 2, the science and the hidden truth. Today I am going to walk you through 5 real uses of hydrogen peroxide in your garden. Each one is verified by real horticultural research. Each one is backed by real chemistry that universities and extension services have documented. Each one is within reach of any gardener with $3 in a watering can. Every claim is defensible, every dilution ratio is tested, and every safety word is honest. I will be straight with you about the title. The old trick was never really lost. Folks still talk about it in the gardening forums and the homestead magazines. But the garden center industry has worked hard for 50 years to convince the average American gardener that the answer to every garden problem is a separate $20 bottle from their aisle. Most folks never learned that the plain brown bottle in the medicine cabinet handles most of those problems better for a fraction of the cost. That is what we mean by forgotten. Not lost, just buried under marketing. A quick word before we go further. The old methods my family uses are more than what fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book at eliasyoder.com. The book is the long version. If you want it, it is there. I will not bring it up again. Top 3, treating root rot in struggling plants. Number 1 is treating root rot in struggling plants. This is the use that saves more plants in more kitchen gardens than any other. Root rot is caused by waterlogged soil, poor drainage, or overwatering, conditions that suffocate the roots and allow pathogens like Pythium, Phytophthora, and Fusarium to take hold. The plant wilts even though the soil is wet, the lower leaves yellow, and new growth slows. Within 2 weeks, if untreated, the plant dies. The chemistry is plain. Hydrogen peroxide kills root rot pathogens through oxidation. The oxygen radicals released as the peroxide breaks down rupture the cell membranes of the fungal organisms. At the same time, the breakdown releases supplementary oxygen directly into the soil, which the surviving healthy roots desperately need. Real research from Alliance Chemical and multiple horticultural sources confirms the mechanism and the effectiveness. For the method, for mild root rot, mix 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 cup of water. Drench the soil around the base of the plant and let it drain through completely. Repeat every 3 to 4 days for 2 to 3 weeks until you see new white root growth. For severe root rot, drench undiluted 3% peroxide once around the base. Use only one treatment at this strength, then follow up with a diluted weekly application as described. But, and this is where most folks miss the honest answer, peroxide alone does not fix root rot. The treatment is part of a three-part fix. Treat the pathogen with the peroxide drench, remove the rotted root tissue by gently lifting the plant and trimming away black slimy roots with clean scissors, and fix the underlying cause by improving drainage or reducing watering frequency. All three steps together solve the problem. Peroxide alone, while continuing the bad watering habit, only delays the inevitable. That is the honest scope that separates the gardener who saves her plants from the one who keeps replanting. Top 4. Sanitizing containers, pots, and gardening tools. Number 2 is sanitizing containers, pots, and gardening tools. This is the use that most home gardeners skip, and it costs them more in lost seedlings than any other oversight. Garden pots, seedling trays, and tools from last season carry surviving fungal spores, bacterial colonies, and pest eggs that will infect this season's plants before they even sprout. The seedlings that mysteriously die in the second week of growing are often killed by pathogens left over from last year's contaminated containers. The chemistry is plain. 3% hydrogen peroxide kills surface-level fungi, bacteria, and most pest eggs through the same oxidative action that handles wound bacteria and household mold. The Cleveland Clinic confirms its antimicrobial properties, and horticultural research confirms its effectiveness on plant pathogens. For the method, empty all old soil out of the containers and rinse them with clean water. Spray the inside and outside of each container with 3% hydrogen peroxide undiluted, straight from the brown bottle. For heavy contamination, soak the containers in a 1.1 dilution of peroxide and water for 30 minutes. Spray gardening tools, secateurs, trowels, and knives directly with peroxide. Let them sit for 1 minute and wipe dry with a clean cloth. Rinse all sprayed items with clean water before reuse to ensure no residue affects the new soil's microbial balance. Do this before every planting season, in late winter, before starting seedlings, and the second week mystery deaths in your seedling trays will stop. The pathogens that survived the winter in your containers are gone, and your new seedlings start in a clean home. Top 5. Soaking seeds for better germination. Number 3 is soaking seeds before planting for better germination. This use is one of the most documented in horticultural research, and the results genuinely surprise folks who try it for the first time. Seeds soaked in dilute hydrogen peroxide solution before planting germinate faster, at higher rates, and with stronger early root development. One published study on Atlantic white cedar seeds documented nearly double germination rates with peroxide pretreatment. The chemistry is plain. Seeds have a natural, protective coating designed to resist decay through the winter. That same coating resists water penetration in spring when the seed is supposed to wake up and grow. The peroxide softens the seed coating, kills surface pathogens that would attack the emerging seedling, and delivers extra oxygen directly to the embryo inside. The result is faster awakening, cleaner sprouting, and stronger early roots. For the method, mix 1 teaspoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 cup of warm water, about body temperature, not hot. Place seeds in the solution and soak. For small seeds like lettuce, carrot, radish, or basil, soak for 30 minutes to 1 hour. For medium seeds like cucumber, squash, melon, or sunflower, soak for 1 to 4 hours. For large seeds like beans, peas, or sweet corn, soak for 4 to 8 hours or overnight. Drain and plant immediately. Do not let the seeds dry back out or you lose the benefit. Esther uses this method on every seed packet she opens each spring. Cucumber seeds that normally took 8 to 10 days to sprout come up in 5. Pepper seeds that often failed to germinate at all in cool spring soil come up reliably. Bean seeds that had been stored for 3 years and were starting to lose viability still produce solid stands when pre-treated with peroxide. The total cost of pre-treating an entire season seed packets is about 10 cents, and the improvement in your garden is measurable every year. Top 6. Foliar spray for fungal leaf diseases. Number 4 is foliar spray for fungal leaf diseases. This is the use I have to be most careful about because many garden bloggers oversell what peroxide foliar sprays can do. Let me give you the honest scope first. The foliar spray genuinely treats powdery mildew, downy mildew, leaf spot on tomatoes or peppers, black spot on roses, and surface mold on leaves generally. What the foliar spray does not effectively treat are general insect pests like aphids, spider mites, or beetles. Peroxide does not deter or kill these effectively. Use neem oil or insecticidal soap for those. It also does not treat bacterial leaf diseases or viral plant diseases. Honest scope makes the difference between a tool that works and a treatment folks waste their time on. For the method, mix 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 cup of water. Spray onto affected leaves in the early morning or evening, never in direct hot sun, which can cause leaf burn. Coat the upper and underside of the leaves where the fungal disease is visible. Repeat every 3 to 5 days until the visible fungal growth is gone. The critical safety word here: do not use the soil strength dilution of 1 to 1 on leaves. That stronger concentration will burn the leaf tissue. The foliar spray is 1 tablespoon per cup, not 1 cup per cup. Mixing up the two dilutions is the single most common mistake folks make. Test the spray on a single leaf of a single plant first, wait 24 hours, and check for damage. Some plants are genuinely more sensitive than others, such as peace lilies, African violets, begonias, and orchids. Most vegetable garden plants tolerate the foliar spray well, but the test one leaf first rule is worth following every time. Before I go on to the fifth use, if you want to lower bills and run a steadier home, join our home saving system and community. The link is in the description. Top 7. Oxygenating compacted or waterlogged. Soil number 5 is oxygenating compacted or waterlogged garden soil. This is the corrective treatment for soil that has gone wrong, such as heavy clay soil that does not drain or garden beds that have been overwatered. These conditions suffocate plant roots and create the anaerobic environment where root rot pathogens thrive. The chemistry is plain. Hydrogen peroxide breaks down in soil into water and oxygen. The released oxygen briefly reaches the suffocating root zone and gives the surviving roots room to breathe. The reduced anaerobic conditions also slow the growth of soil pathogens. Here is the honest scope. This is not a regular fertilizer or a permanent fix. The peroxide oxygen lasts hours, not weeks. The real solution to compacted soil is adding organic matter, raising the beds, and improving drainage. Peroxide soil treatment is a corrective tool for stressed plants while you work on the long-term fix. For the method, mix 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 liter of water. This is the lightest of the 3 soil applications. Water the entire affected area with this solution as you would normally water. Apply once per week during the active growing season for compacted or chronically wet beds. During the off-season, focus on adding compost and improving drainage. Esther uses this on the section of our garden where spring runoff pools. About a tablespoon per liter drench once a week through May and June until the soil dries out enough for normal watering. The plants in that section have not died from waterlogging since she started doing this, but she also knows the real fix is the trench she dug to redirect the runoff. The peroxide is the patch, the trench is the cure. Top 8. The 6 critical safety rules. Before I close, here is the plain safety word. 1. Always use 3% strength. The brown bottle from the chemist, never the 35% food-grade peroxide, which burns plant tissue and human skin. 3% is the gardening strength, always. 2. Never mix peroxide with vinegar, as the combination creates peracetic acid, a corrosive irritant. 3. Never mix peroxide with bleach, as it creates toxic gases. 4. Match the dilution to the use. Container disinfection is straight or 1.1. Root rot is 1 tablespoon per cup. Foliar spray is 1 tablespoon per cup. Seed soak is 1 teaspoon per cup. Soil oxygenation is 1 tablespoon per liter. Mixing up the dilutions is the single most common mistake. Stronger is not better. Stronger burns plants. 5. Keep peroxide in the original brown bottle because light degrades it. Stored properly in a cool, dark spot, it lasts 2 to 3 years. 6. Test sensitive plants first. Peace lilies, African violets, and some young seedlings can react badly. Test one leaf, wait 24 hours, and check for damage before proceeding. Top 9, the final verdict on savings and tradition. Look at what we have walked through. 5 real uses of one $3 brown bottle. Root rot treatment, container sanitation, seed pretreatment, foliar fungal spray, and soil oxygenation. Every one of these is verified by research and real practice. Now look at what those 5 uses replace. A commercial fungicide, $20–$40. A container sanitizer, $12–$20. A seed booster, $10–$20. A foliar spray, $15–$30. And a soil amendment, $8–$20. That is between $65 and $130 of specialty products replaced every season. The 3% peroxide that replaces all 5 costs, 3 per bottle. 2 bottles per season for most gardens is $6 total. The honest savings range is $150 to $300 per year. Over 20 years, that is $3,000 to $6,000 saved on chemistry that one brown bottle handles on its own. There is no money in the garden chemical industry in teaching you this. There is a great deal of money in selling separate bottles with shiny green packaging. You can be the one who remembers. This week, spend $3 on one brown bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Pick one use to start with, whether it is treating root rot or cleaning your tools. The result will show within a week. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 uses you will try first, and share any old garden tricks your grandmother had. Next time, I will show you the old way our family saves seeds so you never have to pay for them again. Until then, get the brown bottle, mix the right dilution, and remember that the cheapest garden chemistry is the one your grandmother already had on her shelf. That is how the old folks did it, and how it is still done in any garden that remembers. If this story changes how you look at the simple tools in your garden shed, please subscribe and like the channel. We are digging up the history and wisdom that the modern industry has tried to bury. Let's grow a better future together. The next hidden treasure of the garden will be revealed very soon.